Okay, my journey with Soso started in 2016. I was his under-10 rugby coach. He would have started his rugby career as an under-7, so I saw him in his third year at rugby. What stood out with Soso for me was that he was an explosive player. He was a natural ball player. He just loved sport. He loved rugby, but he was quick, and he was a match winner. And from the very first game that he played with us as an under 10 player, I put him at scrum half. He would get his hands on the ball more than any other player, and he was fearless. He was quick. He was brave, and he was a team player. And he was a match winner. Soso was an absolute match winner, and the team worked around him. He worked around the team. He was a great team player. And then Soso, it's weird because I coached them the following year, and then the following year, and I really got to know the boys, and not only Soso but the team as well. The team, it was a great team, and Soso he was part of the family. He came on holidays with us. We used to take him camping. He became like another son for me, along with a lot of the other kids in the team as well. But in particular, Soso, he has a tough background. He lives in Massey. Things don't come easy for him, and I think this made him more determined. This was Soso's way of getting out of the circumstances that he was in and expressing himself. Soso could express himself on a rugby field. And I'm just glad that I've been given that opportunity to give him that platform to express himself and play rugby and excel.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I think it would be great for Soso to have this opportunity to play rugby at a different level. It's tough at Phys. You know, we're not a Rondebosch, we're not a Sachs, we're not a Weinberg, we're not a Bishops, and we don't often compete with those schools. So he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. And even though we do play them on the odd occasion, it's been tough for Soso. It really, really has, because to get out there and prove himself playing at Phys, it's tough. It's tough, and that's why Soso, with his humble background, if he can just be given this opportunity to compete with boys who are just as good as him, and that he can just prove himself, he deserves that opportunity. I just want to say something very endearing about Soso. My son, Dean, is in the same grade as Soso, and he's been with Soso since he was grade R. And before I really set eyes on Soso, there was this boy in this class his name was Siyama Kwedana, and he sought to be my son's carer. He looked after Dean. And not only Dean, but all the other boys, because there were a couple of bullies in the class. And Soso, being a year older because he had to repeat a year in grade R. So he repeated grade R, and then he ended up in grade R with my son. He would always protect my little boy, Dean, who was a little bit young for his age. He was an October baby, so he was very young. And Soso was, and I'm going to say it, Soso was like my son's protector. And I think that's quite special for me. And from that moment in grade R, we used to take Soso on hikes. He's been camping with us. He's part of the family. He's a special boy, and he's my adopted son. And I'll continue to follow wherever Soso goes. He's going to be a part of our lives forever.